Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to askNK. Today we're taking a look at the free procedural terrain creator, which is known as Terrain Studio. And this is an amazing shader-driven editor that allows you to simply create terrain, make some paintings, and work procedurally to create nice-looking landscapes, which you can bring into your very own DCC tool. And today we're simply going to explore it and show you guys all you need to know about it. And for those who like to grab this, you can simply go over to the link in the description. They'll bring you right here where you'll be able to download it. It is worth mentioning that this is fully open source, so just in case you like to download it off GitHub, you can simply go over to the GitHub section right here, which brings you over to the GitHub where you'll be able to see all of the stuff that you need, download these, go through all of the necessary reads, and get started with it. At the same time, it's worth giving a shout out to the creator known as Getanbondanet, and this creator has put this one together and it is pretty nice. So with this open right here, all we need to do to get started is to click on Open Editor. And once we click on Open Editor, we do have ourselves a very nice looking terrain tile. Now from here, we can start creating terrains easily. So for example, we would like to add 1, 2, 3, possibly would like to create multiple tiles of terrains, we can. Now to navigate this is as easy as rolling the middle mouse in and out for zooming in and out. With the left mouse button, we can use this to pan. With the right mouse button, we can use this to just simply do some nice looking updating. Just look at how much quality this has. If we simply back up a bit and go right here to our original terrain, we can go over to the terrain section right here and make some changes. This includes changing the height of the terrain. If we like to increase that, we can. We can also play with the sea level. Possibly we need more sea stuff. We can also play with the edge fall off width, which actually deals with the edge fall off on the edges. So we can do that, and you can see we have a bit more smoother fall off on the end, and we can make these changes as well. Another thing that you notice is this is based off the Highlands preset. They've got a couple of other presets as well, which you can also go ahead and play with. At the same time, we've got some island edge fall-offs as well that deals with mountain and also islands. So just in case you like to play with that, you can. In terms of noises and surface stuff, they've got the noise parameter, which is something that you can play with. So just in case you like to increase or reduce the octaves, you can easily do that. The same thing happens with the surface as well. So if you like to play with the surface normal, maybe you like to increase the surface normal, reduce the surface normal, you also have that. We've got ambient occlusion, we've got erosion as well, and we'll also have import. So this is for those who like to import their very own height map and use it. On the other hand, if you like to work with real world stuff, maybe you like to work with the Grand Canyon, you don't have that map for sure, but if you like to work with it, you can click on the download button and automatically that will source the map and create the Grand Canyon right here. Pretty interesting. At the same time, if you like to load any of the other maps, say maybe you would like to load the Kilimanjaro map, you can click on that as well. And this is going to download the Kilimanjaro map and load it right here as well. So let's back up a bit and take a look at layers. Now this has a couple of layers. Within the layer section, you have a few set of noise layers that you can add. Before then, you already have a classic terrain layer, which you can use to control a few things, which includes the strength, the blend mode, and other stuff. If we click on the plus sign, you'd also notice that we've got some noise layers that we can add. We've got the classic terrain, which is basically what we just showed. Then we've got the FBM, we've got rigid, below. So in case you like to add belows to this, you can. If you like to add some values, some constants, some dune, some critters, which are pretty nice. So let's throw in a critter right there. If you like to load in critters, you can also go ahead and load in the critters. And just in case we missed it, it is worth mentioning that this uses your GPU to run every single thing. And you can actually see the GPU that it uses right here. You can see what triangles it's using, the draw calls, and also the frames per second that this is currently running. So if it's compiling, it gets to tell you that it's compiling them right over here, which gives you a bit of understanding of what's going on in the background. And once this is ready, you get to notice that it says ready right here. So with this, you can actually play with strengths, reduce the strength of the critters if you want. If you like to increase the scale of the critters or even reduce them, you can also do that. So in this case, we just want a few of these critters around. We can play with the rim height and the rim width if we want something like that too. So depending on the number of noises that you would like to add to this, you can actually go ahead and do that. Other things that you can do with these includes adding biomes, as this has a couple of biome stuff as well. We've also got the water. You have parameters for that. You can play with the settings for the water. You can turn on animation, turn off animation if this is what you're going for. We've got the props as well. And for the props, we can turn on procedural props. If you like to add some clouds with this, you can turn on clouds and go ahead and enable clouds. And this gives you a bit more nicer visual feedback of things going on in your scene. And this is pretty interesting. In terms of parameters for your clouds, you also have some very cool features, which includes coverage, if you like to turn that on and off. Some density stuff are also available. Softness is also available. You've got some shell options as well, some noise options, some motion option. If you like to change the direction of the wind, so maybe you like the wind to travel in a different direction, you can do that. We've also got the Skybox option as well. And this Skybox is more like your control for time of day. So if you like to get the nighttime, daytime, all that are available. The lighting option is also available right here. You've got some color options too. So again, these are options that you can change depending on what you want. So they are just customizable options right here. Now, before we talk about the exporting, there are some experiences that comes with this one. One of them has to do with the top-down view. So if you like to see things top-down, you can. If you possibly want to create multiple maps and actually see them top-down, you can also do that. Let's back out a bit. If you like to reset the camera, possibly re-angle it, possibly you like to explore this as walking, maybe you like to explore this as, for example, like you're walking, you can also do that. And to work with this is also relatively this easy. So once you're within this view, if you press W on your keyboard, you can walk. And you can also work with WASD. Those keys are the keys that you use to walk around this. If you want, you can press the escape key to jump out. If you like to fly through this, you can also go ahead and fly through it. So this doesn't really have a particular direction of how you can fly it, other than the fact that you use your mouse to control the flight. And in this case, we can press the escape key to jump out as well. Over here, we also have some maps. So there's a mini map right here that deals with different things. So you possibly want to see the height map of what you're creating. You have that. A biome map is also available. You've got some noise map here. You have the water mask. You have the slope map, the prop map, and the chunk grid map as well. So if you're thinking about exporting these maps, you can. At the same time, if you're thinking about exporting stuff from here, maybe you like to export the current JSON file, you can also do that. And while we talk about this, let's just dive back and talk about the export. So for export, there are certain things that you can export. Like we just mentioned, you can choose to export height map, you can choose to export a screenshot, and you can choose to export some of these other ones too. So if you turn on all of these, when you export these exports as textures that you can bring into your very own DCC tool and start working with. So in this case, we like to export foam mask, we like to export all of these. Let's just turn them on. And we would like the resolution to be a little bit higher, maybe a bit more like 1024 by 1024, which is a 1K file. We'll possibly want to export glTF, bake the lighting. If we have additional assets that we would like to export, maybe we'd like to do that as well. We can turn on all of these and export the terrain. If you just want to export the height map, you can just simply click on that and export the height map. And so we're simply going to export this and bring this into our favorite DCC tool and explore how it actually looks like. So with this exported, you would notice that we've got our GLB, we've got our JSON preset, we've also got our texture, which is something that we can roll onto our model, and then we've got those water masks that we looked at. So you can bring in these water masks and use them to drive various things. And for example, if there are things that you like to export as well, like we mentioned, you can also turn on these additional ones and export them. Right here in Blender, which is our favorite tool to explore some of these things, we can go ahead and bring in our terrain. So we can simply drag, drop this into our viewport. And from here, we can make sure that we merge all vertices just to be sure and click on the import button. And this is going to process and import this model right inside of Blender. And with this, once we have that selected, we can zoom all the way out and you can see that we have a huge file. Now, for some reason, if you do have a big file like this and you're not really sure how to preview it, all you need to do is to tap N on the keyboard, go over here where you have your clipping, and you're simply going to set this to 0.01, which I believe it was, and you can simply set this to 10000 and press the enter button. So in that case, you now will be able to preview all of this. Other things that you can do is just simply have that tiny node selected and scale this down. In that way, it saves you all of that ache of actually dialing that right there. So With this, you can now go in and preview and make sure that things looks exactly as advertised. At the same time, if you're thinking about painting on the terrains, there are also painting tools that allows you to paint on these terrains if you want. So this is also another cool feature, and this feature just simply lets you paint on the terrain. Again, these are more like tools that would offer you the option of being extremely creative. So you can increase the brush size, reduce the brush size if you want, and proceed to do those paintings. If you're thinking about exploring Infinite World, they also have an Infinite World button right here, which you can use to explore an Infinite World. So maybe you like to explore Infinite Worlds like this. This allows you to just simply do that. It is pretty interesting how this one works. So it allows you to do that pretty quickly. At the same time, they've also got one that deals with planet. I think we opened that up somewhere. So with the planet one, you can also preview the planet and just go ahead and play with it. You can go over to the planet setting right here and also make some changes towards this. And all of these are available totally for free. So for those looking for a procedural tool that they can use in creating procedural terrain that is totally free and available for use on your web browser, then this tool is definitely one that you should go ahead and explore. So this is it. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.